Hello and merry meet. I thought I would actually post just a quick video. I've had a few questions about the Book of Shadows. This is a really good sort of beginner thing to talk about. Beginner topic to talk about is Book of Shadows. Basically, it's very simple. You just have a book. You buy a book. You make a book. You find a book. Anything. A book. A blank book. It's probably best if it's not been written in before because you want it to be a fresh start. So I would recommend, again, like I said, buying one or finding one that you haven't used yet. Now, there's been some questions about what type of book it should be. And really, that's just down to personal preference. Some people like the really old looking, witchy, generic-y looking ones, like this pretty little thing with like maybe your favourite gemstone on it, and you can make it all funky and decorate it to however you want. So there's those ones. They can be leather bound, they can be fake leather. If you're a vegan like me, then it would be fake leather. You can have a little one, like a little wooden one, a little Totoro one I have. This is wooden. This is quite good to work as a field notebook actually, so you can take them outside with you. If you're walking in the forest and an idea springs to mind, or maybe a chant you would like to try, or even if you find some leaves that you would want to use in a spell or have in your room, then it's sort of good just to press leaves in there and things like that. Like put the leaf on the paper, cover it in sellotape, and you have like that leaf presented and then little notes underneath about what leaf is and what spells it's good for. So I'd recommend doing that as well. However, inside your book you can present it any way you want. This book I'm using as a field book, so taking outside with me and making notes when I have ideas outside. It's perfect for your handbag or your rucksack or even your pocket. I've got pretty big pockets, so I pop this in my pocket and I just scribble down ideas, like smudge stick ones. There's one that I go more intensely to, like drawings and detail and things like that, and I'll show you that now. For example, bugs that represent things, insects that represent certain things, and how you can involve them in your spells without harming them. So I would have the different sort of glow worms, for example, bugs, and I'd write all about them and draw the anatomy of them. It is a hobby as well, you can make your Book of Shadows an piece of artwork as well. See, I've got a little anatomy drawings of bumblebees and what they represent, and even the legends and different beliefs different countries, different spiritualities have about them, because you can incorporate anything you want into your Book of Shadows. It's whatever helps you. It can be research. It can be research into different people who are Wiccan, solitary Wiccan. It can be a spell that you saw online and you want to write it down, you want to experiment with it, maybe even change it to how you want it to be. It is just like that. It's writing ingredients for a witchy meal. Like, I know I have many dinners and dishes that I make that is for Imbolc, for example, for Yule, like specific like holidays, specific Wiccan holidays that I have different meals for, because you need different food types in the different years, obviously, because we have to build up fat reserves for the winter, and I have no problem doing that. So it is literally anything and everything Wicca. People are misinformed sometimes and they think a Book of Shadows is just for spells, and it can be. You can just have a Book of Shadows for spell, and there may be a research Wicca book, but I would say put everything in it. Document it. Document everything, because then when you look back, you'll see how much you've made progress on your Wiccan spirituality, and change things, put notes in. It doesn't matter how messy it gets. The more messier, the better, I think, because it just adds character. So I would just do that, because that is the best way forward. And once you have your Book of Shadows, you'll feel much more grounded. So you've got your Book of Shadows, for example, it's mine at the moment. You've got it, it's there. It doesn't matter if it's ring bound, it doesn't matter if, like I said, it's old fashioned, it doesn't matter if it's one of the big chunky books that you can get in any supermarket. As long as you've got it, you'll feel grounded. And I think that's the best thing to start off with. Start off with the Book of Shadows. And then the second thing we'll talk about is an altar and what goes on the altar and what you can have on the altar. And after that, we could probably talk about goddesses and gods. But there will be another video, of course, explaining that and going into that, sharing my opinions on it. And we will also talk about animals and their meaning. So I'm not going to go into every single animal's meaning, but for example, I'll give you a little taster of my thoughts on it. As you know, my favourite animal is the fox. It's definitely my spirit animal. In different cultures, in every different culture, and all the legends evolving around foxes all come to the same conclusion, that a fox will lead you to an adventure. They're mythical, they're spiritual, they're, you know, they're spirits. That's the thing. It's so interesting. And once you find your spirit animal, this can guide you through so many things, and it can help you out so much. Okay, so that's my little piece on Book of Shadows. If there is any questions, then please write in the comments. I'll be happy to answer them if there's nothing, well, if there's something I haven't covered about the Book of Shadows. And it'd be great hearing from you. Thank you. Blessed be.